Well, a new drug is in the works that researchers say could stop the spread of breast cancer. It's still in the very early stages, but scientists are looking at a compound that targets a well-studied protein called BC13. That protein plays a crucial role in spreading breast cancer through the body, which is something that you don't want. By stopping that protein, scientists believe they can halt the cancer's progression. Dr. Mark Siegel is a member of the Fox News Medical A-Team and a professor at NYU Langone Medical Center. So I noticed it says it would suppress the spread of cancer, not necessarily eradicate it. But that's an important difference, Doc. What exactly are they looking at here?
Jenna, especially when you consider that breast cancer kills 40,000 a year, but 12,000 women have it spread. So in other words, when breast cancer spreads beyond the breast is when you really get in trouble. Goes to the liver, goes to the brain. Very hard to get it at that point. Now this gene, BC13, is responsible, it looks like, for that spread. So as you were saying, if you can suppress it, figure out a way to stop the cancer from using this gene. And people out there, this is the way genetics works. Genes are expressed by one cell and not another. When the gene is expressed by the cancer cell, it causes it to spread. They found a pocket, a little pocket on the surface of this gene. And they tried millions of different combinations of drugs in a computer, and they figured out the one that looks like it stops it in its tracks.
So it stops it in mice. That's what they've been looking at. And the question now is they're going to move to clinical trials for human beings. If it works out, and it looks like it works in humans, which we do not know yet, would it take the place of, let's say, radiation or chemotherapy? Would it be a complete alternative to those therapies, or something you would use in addition to?
This is an excellent question, and I really like the way you framed that. I think if it works in humans, and again, mice are not humans, but oftentimes when these things work in mice, they do work in humans. If that happens, and I'm going to quote you now, I can envision a time when you took a pill that had this suppressor in it right when you got your diagnosis, before it spread. Then you might not need the chemo, you might not need the radiation.
So researchers are saying what they're envisioning is that if you came in with a diagnosis for breast cancer, in this case, they might immediately give you this, what would it be, a suppressant to make sure that it doesn't spread, and then continue the treatment accordingly.
Absolutely, and we use a layman's expression. It's called keeping the horses from getting out of the barn. Once the horses are out of the barn, once the cancer has spread, it gets so much harder to treat it. If it's in the bones, if it's in the liver, it's in the brain. I mean, you can operate still. The key is surgery. Now, if you could operate before it spreads beyond the breast, you get a cure most of the time. If it doesn't, you're chasing it with chemotherapy. This could prevent it from spreading.
Interesting look at breast cancer. It'd be also interesting to see if they could find that in other cancers as well. So that's a question for another time.
Yes, the answer to that is yes. It looks like it may be useful in other cancers as well.
All right. Well, I'm glad we got that in. Dr. Siegel, thank you.
Great to see you.